Welcome everybody, it's Andrew here with 765 Disc Review, and right now, for the third video I've got going on for today, if you notice the shirt, we've got the RPM Kea, maybe? I hope I'm not mispronouncing that too bad. So the Kea is going to be an overstable mid-range disc, kind of approach type of disc there, but I'll talk about that here in a bit. So the Kea, the numbers here are 4303, so pretty similar to a Zone is kind of what I expected going into it. When you get the disc, I think you'll notice here it feels a lot more like kind of like a Gator or maybe a Justice or Deflector, right? In that it's much more of a kind of standard mid-range feel as opposed to the Zone, which I'd put a little closer to a putter feel. A couple of unique things about this disc here. So it does have a pretty prominent bead. I'm not sure if you can really see that there. And then it also has a bit of a thumb track that's really close to the edge. Probably a little bit more close to the edge than I am usually accustomed to, or maybe it's just a really small kind of thumb track there. But either way, it's a very interesting disc. So overall, I thought for forehands, even given the bead and that kind of thumb track that I thought maybe felt a bit unique here, I was getting really clean releases off of this disc. So for this plastic here, it felt really comfortable and durable. I'm not sure exactly what the plastic is called from RPM discs here, but it's kind of like their champion style plastic. So it was pretty gummy and grippy there, all things considered. And I just felt like I was able kind of in most conditions to get a really good grip on the disc here. Couple of things I was surprised about for me, if I'm going to compare it to a Zone, because that's basically what the flight numbers were stating here. One, I think it's a little bit faster than a Zone, so I think maybe a 5-speed probably is a little bit more accurate for what I experienced here. Definitely has more glide than a Zone. For me personally, I might put the glide at a 4 as opposed to the 3 that they have it labeled as. No turn, and then a fade was a 3. I think I would be fine with that, to be honest. It wasn't really something that was incredibly stable. But all things considered, it was just very interesting in that it seemed to fly further than the Zone for me, but it definitely had more glide, seemed to be affected by the wind, maybe a touch more than a Zone, but at the same time, it definitely still had a solid fade to fight back and come out of whatever kind of deal you might have been dealing with the Zone. So overall, I wouldn't necessarily call it like a utility driver of any sorts, but if you're looking for kind of a Zone flight with more of a mid-range type of feel, this is definitely a great one to check out. So maybe a little lesser known company in disc golf, but definitely still worthwhile. As far as drawbacks goes, I don't think everybody's going to mesh with the feel of it. Like I said, for forehand, you feel the thumb track, you feel the bead, and you're like, oh, this could be a little questionable. But for me personally, I thought that it was just fine as far as the feel goes for forehand. For backhand, like I had mentioned earlier, it seems that the thumb track's a little closer to the rim than I would personally prefer. But it's not uncomfortable by any means, but it's definitely one of those, if you get the chance, maybe try to put your hands on it before you buy it, because some people are going to be completely fine with how it feels, and some people I think are going to find it very unique and maybe a little off-putting. So definitely a matter of personal preference, but overall a pretty solid disc that I found that I really enjoyed trying out. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoy.